With the way the current market is, the only real way to get yourself into a high-powered Mazda rotary is the RX-8, and this one's pretty special. You've always said to me, Simon, if you want to build a nice or a quick RX-8, you're better off just going with the older
the FD motor.
FD engine.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing with this car behind us?
Yeah, this is one of our conversions that are very popular.
But there's a fair bit of stuff you've got to consider, isn't there, before you drop it in?
Definitely. We've got a cross member that we've designed many years ago that fits the FD engine, also fits a Cosmo engine and a 20B engine. The 20B is a lot more work than a Cosmo or a 13B. But so basically we've got here most of our adapters, oil filter adapter, which it's a simple little adapter but houses the RX-8 oil filter housing because the FD one hits the firewall. We've got a new custom inlet manifold that fits onto an FD engine, and that brings it slightly forward so the plenum and the throttle body doesn't hit the firewall. It also gives us two extra injectors. So what we do, we only need to run 4 injectors in this. We run one of the Billet Pro injector block-offs in the primaries where they normally go, and we just run them all up here. We've run them like that. People might say, oh, it's a bit far away from the port and the idle might change. We're fitting Bridgeport engines in them, and they idle perfect, they sound great.
So I know when you obviously turbocharge the RX-8 engine, you're really limited for space on the exhaust side.
Yeah, we actually lower the engine, so it creates a lot more room in the engine bay where the turbo sits. So that's our custom exhaust manifold that we're sort of 90% finished. We just got to clean it up and then get it coated. Yeah, we're running Garrett turbocharger, Turbo Smart wastegate. On this, we're running a Fueltech FT550. That's the aircon adapter plate that we run. So it bolts to the FD engine. It's made by Billet Pro, and the aircon unit bolts straight up. So it's an adapter for that.
Does this engine bolt up to the RX-8 gearbox?
Yeah, bolts straight up to the RX-8 gearbox. Use the same clutch and all that. All depends how much power you're going to run. We're actually running an Exedy heavy-duty clutch in this. You don't want to go too heavy on the clutch or too harsh on the clutch with a standard gearbox because you'll tend to break it pretty quickly. Some other stuff that we got in there, we run Bosch injectors. This one's going to be running on pump fuel. So we've got inserts that we can run in the fuel tank as well. We can run up to 4 extra fuel pumps in the standard RX-8 tank. So we can run 4 Walbros.
Yeah, wow.
So in the 20Bs, and we've done a Barra conversion in one, we ran 4 pumps in the standard tank. But on this one, we'll probably run just the 1 Walbro. It'll run 14 pound. And make around 400 horsepower at the wheels.
Yeah, wow.
350 to 400 horsepower at the wheels. It's just a nice, clean street package.
The engine itself, is this just a stock
This is no, this is a FD engine, purchased second hand, stripped down. We put full brand new seal kit through it, balanced it, and Bridgeported it. We run a bar and plate intercooler on this one. We're going to put a Koyo radiator in it, keep the cooling down. We run a low temperature thermostat as well. Just helps with the cooling of it all.
So we're at the point where you can start assembling some of this, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. So the engine's out of the car at the moment. We'll start putting the cross member in, putting all the mounts onto the engine, setting up the Billet Pro crank angle sensor adapter. So this will run the standard RX-8 crank angle sensor. So all your speedo, everything will work through the factory computer.
All right, so Simon, there is actually a bit of a backstory with this build, isn't there?
Yeah, so I bought my first RX-8 back in 2003. I turbocharged it and sold it to a gentleman in Young, New South Wales, and unfortunately he passed away. We tried to track the car down and we couldn't, so his brother said we'll do a tribute car for him. So this is it, and we found a car that we're going to do the package in. It was a black car as well.
Yours must have been, I reckon, the first turbocharged one.
Yeah.
Getting around. You had it turbocharged in like 3 minutes, didn't you?
Oh, we did it pretty quick, yeah. There was a lot of development then. This is going to be a really good sentimental car to have around. So Felipe's pulled the engine out, cleaned all the engine bay, it's come up nice and neat. We'll do a few little things in the bay before we start sticking the engine in.
Do you need to change anything firewall back on this to...
No,
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll just, we'll upgrade the clutch line to a braided line. That'll stop that from popping, which is a common issue. They fray and let go. So we'll use a speed flow line on that. We'll speak to Matt and see if he wants to put a dual oil cooler. It's wise to do it on a turbo application. Most of the stuff's all bolt-in, so it's pretty easy. The only modifications, it all depends on what people choose, is for the cooling system. So there's a bit of mods in your water pump housing, and obviously an exhaust manifold, depends what turbocharger you want to choose. But if you do choose like a G35, we've got an exhaust manifold that we can supply as well for that. Yeah. So we can supply pretty much everything to fit straight in. Yeah, and you've done a lot of combinations of RX-8s over the years, haven't you? Yeah. 13Bs, 20Bs, Cosmo 13Bs. We've done obviously the FD conversion, that's the most popular. We've done the Barra.
So we're back at Promaz, and Simon, there's been a nice lot of updates. Felipe's done a lot of work on the RX-8 since we saw it last.
He's done a good job, Yep.
Back
again to our RX-8 with an FD conversion. We've got a lot of the Billet Pro gear, aircon adapters in.
Yeah, that's still the RX-8 compressor.
Yeah, aircon compressor, so it retains that, and that'll fit on an FD 20B Series 4, that adapter plate. But yeah, the best conversion for the RX-8 is the FD conversion.
Yeah.
We've got a cast inlet manifold that brings it forward, because you can tell the engines are set pretty far back. So with our cross member, our aftermarket cast inlet manifold, it brings it slightly forward, so there's nice clearance. It stays in the original position. You keep the original gearbox. A lot of people tend to go for like an FD gearbox, 5-speed, or a Series 2 RX-8 gearbox, a bit stronger than the Series 1s. But depends how the person treats it.
So you're going to keep, this is still the...
Yeah, factory computer, factory power steering, control module, everything's inside here.
So that'll still run along with the fuel tech?
Yes.
So you still run the factory Mazda sort of body control, as you'd call it?
Yeah, the body control module stays the same. We're using the FD throttle body. We can use the fly-by-wire, and then your cruise control will work. All the traction control, everything will work. But being a single throttle body on a Bridgeport motor, they don't tend to bridge as good because of the big butterfly. So we use the triple butterfly, FD throttle body, and the bridge that comes out of them, which... You're
not the first person that's told me that.
Okay, yeah they bridge a lot better. So I give the customer the option, and I say we can run an accelerator cable, and these are the options you're going to lose, and these are the options you're going to gain. So the main thing, they want it to pulse really nice. So the FD throttle body does that a lot better than the single RX-8 throttle body or an aftermarket single butterfly throttle body.
You got a lot more room there than the turbocharging the Renesis engine.
There's still a little bit of restriction, but we're trying to do a conversion that is sort of cost effective as well, because a lot of people are starting to buy these. They're a lot cheaper than what an RX-3 or an RX-4.
Absolutely.
And so these are coming more into the market where people are buying them at a good price and spending a bit on them to get that rotary power feeling.
So next I think you got to do the intercooler pipe?
Yeah, so the intercooler's mounted, oil cooler lines are done, all the fittings are done. We've got to do a little bit of fuel system. So we've upgraded the fuel pump so far, but we've just got to finish the fuel system in the engine bay. We're running our Promaz smart coil system in it as well. Intercooler pipes to go, exhaust down pipe, a wastegate, either screamer pipe or blended into the exhaust system, whatever the customer wants. We'll have a chat to him about that.
Screamer pipe is one of the only, I'm not a big fan of screamer pipes, but I don't mind them on the Mazdas.
Yeah, they're good. But some people want it. Yeah. Most people want it. Yeah. So they've got the control on the pedal to do whatever they want. Yeah, so once we do the intercooler pipes, we'll be, and all the fab work, we're almost ready to fire it up and get it on the dyno for a running tune.
while since I saw this RX-8, Simon. You've got it up and running?
Yeah, it's all up and running. Yeah, it's been getting some wiring done.
Yeah.
We've got a FuelTech FT550 and Fabian from Hot Wires done the loom for it. Basically, it's a plug-in loom with a few little extras added to it.
So how does the running procedure work? I hear lots of different stories about rotaries, but you do have to run a fresh rotary engine in, don't you? To a point.
You do. I mean, it is best for the engine to bed all the seals in. But the main thing is when you're running in, especially a new package, it's not just the engine. Yeah. You're just ironing out any bugs that it might have. You don't want to go and put it on the dyno, run it up, the customer takes it, and then there's something something little wrong that can cause a major issue. Yeah. So we always get the customer to do 1,000 to 1,500 Ks, and it's more ironing out the package to make sure, get them to write a little list of what they're not happy with.
And then they bring it back and you sort of...
And then they bring it back, we go through the list, we change oil, filter, and then we run it on the dyno, knowing confidently that everything in the whole package is good.
Why not just turbocharge the RX-8 engine? I know we've gone over this, but...
I've done it. I've done this for many years. Like, I think 2005 was our first turbo RX-8 kit that we designed, and we're still doing them to today. But there's a limit with that. With the Renesis side port, I tell people our turbo kit is designed to perfection. So if you come back and say, oh, I want a bit more boost, I want a bit... No, it's the limit.
Yeah.
So a Promaz Renesis turbo package is the limit. And they make, it all depends on exhaust, but they're anywhere from around the 190 to 230 kilowatts at the wheels.
So what do these put out standard in A form?
On our dyno, around 110 to 115 kilowatt.
Yeah, so it's a fair upgrade.
Oh yeah.
But you're getting that turbo torque.
Yeah,
that's what
completely
makes
different.
It feel better.
It just feels, as it would an RX-8, it's very linear, our turbo package. So it doesn't feel like you would in the older Subarus, where there's nothing, and then all of a sudden it comes in. Our turbo kit is very linear. But this is an FD engine conversion, which I tell people, if you're happy with it, let's say on average 200 kilowatt, with a Renesis turbo kit, well, that's fine. But if you're thinking for the future to put more power into it, don't even bother. Go straight to the FD engine conversion. You can do a lot more things with them. This one here is just on 98 pump fuel. We'll run 14 pound in it. It'll make over 400 horsepower at the wheels.
Yeah, that's good power, isn't it?
Plenty, yeah.
Not much
plenty.
boost, yeah.
Yeah, on 14 pound, and you can drive it all day, every day. I've got a customer with the same package. He uses it as his everyday car.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When you drive it on the freeway, even though it's a bridgie, you have to get it back to idle to go, oh yeah, it is a Bridgeport. It drives smooth on the freeway. We haven't got a big Bridgeport in it. It's more just so they can hear the bridge.
Hear the bridge.
Yeah.
Now, I would think arguably these are actually a better driver's car than an FD.
Yeah, especially like a big boy like me. I like driving these a lot better. And you can stick people in the back. Really, how fast are you going to push it on the street? You know, it's more jumping in and out every day. If you are going to drive it as an everyday car, these are a lot more practical than an FD.
Don't get me wrong, I've owned MX-5s, I've got an MR2 now. Those sorts of cars are great for an hour or two.
Yeah.
But that's it, you're sort of happy to get out of them.
Yeah.
Whereas this, you could comfortably drive this to work every day.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. 356 horsepower, pretty easy.
Yeah, I think you'll see here, bring up the log, just do a running tune. As I say, the mixtures are perfect, 9.3 pound. Just this package, the same thing. Like we've done heaps of these for like people all around Australia, and they're just a perfect package. Sounds good, goes good. Like on E85, the same package, 557 at the wheels on the one that I just sent to Queensland. And on 98, 400 and, 420, 440 horsepower pretty easily. And you can see we're at 350 on 9 pound, 14 pound, it'll make the 420.
And for our UK friends, this is power at the hubs, it's not power at the engine. Like,
yeah.
a lot of RX-8 owners quote power at the engine.
Oh, yeah. Power at the engine, add another 100 horsepower. Well, this is another one of our FD RX-8 conversions that we're handing over to Matt here. It's a very special one, which will explain the ins and outs of it all. Yeah, so enjoy.
Thank you very much, Simon.
No worries. I'll just show you a few things in here. Basically, everything's pretty easy and straightforward. As I said, with the warm-up procedure, you just have to start it, make sure you got oil pressure, check everything, check all your gauges on your fuel tech dash, make sure you're all good, and just warm up the motor, gearbox and the diff.
Thank you so much for this.
My pleasure.
This has been, honestly, a journey for both you and me, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Watching the build, the photos coming through, all that.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And that's what it's about. When you build a car, it's special.
And
it's a hobby, and obviously this is real special.
And for me, I'm so happy that you guys have done this, because this is the start of my hobby now.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get entrenched into this. Just can't tell you how excited I am.
Yeah.
And that sticker at the back there, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
We needed to. I wanted to do something.
That really just personalises everything.
Yeah, for your brother. So you can probably go into a little bit what happened with your brother. So obviously he bought my RX-8, my turbo RX-8.
So I'm not sure what year that was when Tim bought it, because I think it was a 2003
yeah, was
RX-8. Was that one of the first?
That was my first ever car, first ever RX-8.
Wow.
And then we ended up turboing it, and that was our project car, and I loved that car as well. And then Tim bought it off me, and he obviously enjoyed it.
Oh, we had fantastic times, and it would driving to Sydney, cruising around. It's just great memories.
Yeah.
Great memories.
And unfortunately,
Tim, sadly, 7 years ago, passed away due to brain cancer. And but before he did that, I know he had to let go of the car. So certainly a journey trying to find that car. And then I got in contact with you, and you said that there might be a car available that you knew of, and that's where it all started. It was absolutely fantastic. It's great to get it to this point. It really is. It's incredible.
So we've done the engine package now, and then we can move on to personalising the body and interior to suit you.
I can't wait.
To suit what you want.
It's a hobby. Start of my hobby.
So you'll enjoy many years of motoring with this.
Thank you very much.
And your whole family and your friends as well.
That's it.
Well, enjoy.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
And all the team here.
And we'll see you at 1500 Ks.
Most definitely.
For a power tune.
Fantastic.
I don't mind RX-8s. I know we give them a bit of grief on full boost, but they're a nice car to drive.
Oh, they're a ripper car.